I'm normally pretty silent and a private person, but I had to post this video because the because the level of bullshit that is going on right now is fucking unbelievable. You know, Murray Rothbard, the late great Murray Rothbard, used to say that there were two criteria for getting him hopping mad. One, that a monstrous injustice was being done, and two, that no one seemed willing to do anything about it. I don't know Chris Duane, or Adam Kokesh, or Rob Gray, but here's what I do know. The Mulligan Mint has repeatedly failed to hold up their end of the bargain. There have been constant quality problems and delays which they have continually failed to address. 2. The level of customer service at Mulligan Mint is the worst in the industry. Of all the phone calls I've made and all the messages I've left, not a single phone call was ever answered and not a single message was ever returned. 3. Most of the things people have attacked Chris Duane for were actually the fault of the Mulligan Mint. You know, you have fucking morons out here like Bar None and Raw Doglet basically accusing Chris of running a scam because people's silver isn't getting delivered, but that's not really Chris's fault. It's Rob Gray's fault. It's Mulligan's Mint's fault. They were the ones who were responsible for filling the orders. Point number 4. People bitch about the premiums on SPSS rounds, but look at the Perth Linner Series premiums or Canadian Grizzlies. $4.99 for a coin, you know, that you think is going to have, you know, some numismatic value, especially if it's a limited series. Doesn't seem like that much of a premium to me, especially when Eagles are going for $5 over spot right now consistently. I know personally I would much rather have an SPSS round from Chris Duane than, you know, a U.S. Mint government coin. Point number 5. So what has Chris done that's actually been unethical? Because as far as I can tell, the only thing he did was bust his ass marketing, only to have it further busted when he was brutally ass-raped by Rob Gray. You know, who has done more for Mulligan Mint than Chris Duane? As a matter of fact, who has done more for the precious metals community in general than Chris Duane? I mean, show me one channel on YouTube that's better than Truth Never Told, or, you know, any website or any other community, you know, around precious metals on the internet. Just one example that's better than the stuff that Chris Duane has put together. I hear crickets chirping. Point number 6. You say Chris Duane is trying to profit from Rob Gray's good name, but isn't it the other way around? It was Chris who was bringing all the business to Mulligan Mint. So much, in fact, that they couldn't handle it and repeatedly failed to deliver. As far as I'm concerned, Mulligan Mint has as much brand strength in the bullion industry as Yugo has in the automotive industry. Number 7. The bottom line is this. Chris needs to have his property returned, including his dies, his earned income, and his silver. Number 8. The Mulligan Mint sold SPSS rounds to customers under the auspices that each series would be limited, and if Mulligan sells one round above what is necessary to fill the remaining outstanding orders, they are committing an act of criminal fraud. Number 9. You say Chris has, quote, hardly done anything, unquote, compared to Rob Gray. Are you kidding? It wasn't Rob Gray who brought in $3 million in initial orders to Mulligan Mint. As far as I can tell, Chris Duane is the only person associated with Mulligan Mint actually doing any work at all. You say the Mulligan Mint was, quote, laboring under the weight of Chris Duane's ego? But it seems to me what they were laboring under was the massive amount of business that he brought their way. Which brings me to my final point. Point number 10. I'm not sure if you're just jealous, Adam, of Chris's sales success, but the type of venomous ad hominem attacks that you are engaged in are part of a mechanism psychologists call devaluation and are indicative of a borderline personality disorder. You're trying to call Chris a quote-unquote used car salesman because his family owns an automotive dealership as an attempt to cast aspersions on his character through associating his name with the negative connotations generally implied with the term used car salesman. How dare you? How dare you? Weren't you a Marine? How dare you criticize anybody's private sector job? How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourself. You know, Stefan Molyneux was posted a video today. It was titled "A Personal Update" or something like that. You know, where he actually. One second. Where he actually announced that he's been diagnosed with lymphoma, and is going to be fighting cancer for a while, I guess. You know, the greatest champion of liberty since Murray Rothbard, unquestionably, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, is Stefan Molyneux. And the fact that, you know, he's going through these deep personal issues, and there wasn't a word about it on your channel today, Adam. Not one. You know, you'd rather, what, attack Chris for what I can see, I mean, is basically nothing. I mean, he did, I grant you, he did, you know, recommend that people call the Texas, you know, Attorney General or whatever, and, you know, nobody's perfect. Nobody is, but in my mind, the guy's been screwed. And I think you should take a serious, hard look in the mirror. Because maybe, just maybe, you might be acting like an epic twat.